evening, and welcome to the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast with me, Huge Pop. Next to me, Cody Cornett, Reek, and Nikki D. And I just want to say thank you for Husky for the music of the intro, and thank you to brother MAWT for the video footage. I love the video. We come together every Tuesday night to talk about not SmackDown, but Raw and the pay-per-view before that, if there is one. So tonight we're going to talk about Survivor Series and Raw afterthoughts on a Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. We all have our own opinions. I'm just going to say Survivor Series had 17,249 people there. There were 39 tickets available at the beginning of Survivor Series. I don't know if they came in from Vancouver, Canada.
Where are you reading this from? Because I'm just reading that right now.
It was on November 30th, 2024. I had to get this. I had to beat Cody Cornett, the numbers man, to the punch.
Wow, yeah, you did well. Good job.
Just keep it friendly.
So we had Survivor Series. We're going to go through Survivor Series pretty quickly so we can talk about probably my favorite is, yeah. What I have a feeling, my opinion is the best Monday Night Raw in 2024.
Oh, easily.
So we kicked it off with the Team Rhea versus Team
Liv.
Team Liv for the
Hey,
first time.
Cody. Numbers guy.
Yes, sir.
How many people left after that first match?
Well, since it was the women's WarGames match, I'm going to say they were all out mentally.
So we had the women's WarGames match. We had Team Liv versus Team Rhea. Liv and Rhea have been going at each other for months and months and months. They threw Nia Jax in there. They threw all the big chicks in there. We had a WarGames match. Nikki D, you can start. What's your opinion on that WarGames match? Because I know Cody Cornett has lots to say.
Yeah, I'm going last.
I'm just going to say there was a couple of how do I put this? There were a couple of spots I really enjoyed. And yeah, there was a couple of spots I really enjoyed, and I thought it would be, I don't know. I hoped it would have been better. Not trying to dog it, but
not really dogging much.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that match.
Rico.
Yeah, do I even want to comment on it?
I love this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually loving this.
No, I'll tell you one of my favorite parts of that match is when freaking Bailey ducks and Nia's just standing there looking at her, and it's like a stalemate. Nobody's moving. They're just looking at each other and like, wow, what in the world are we doing here?
I'm not. See, I didn't want to say anything because we only have so much time. It was sloppy in spots. It was just kind of sloppy. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I will say this. My only comment is that was the worst women's anything I've seen WWE put out there. That was worse than an AEW women's match.
That's a strong statement. Huge Pop.
That
I mean,
no, wait.
Wrong.
What pissed me off the most, and I'm sitting here watching this match with my wife, right? And she hates wrestling. And her comment is, what the fuck was that? And then she said it right after the gazillion chair shots that were freaking blown. I mean, you can see it. It was like, here's a chair shot. It was like, tap.
No, it was like,
they learned from the school of Terry Bollea. Don't. It's okay though. He's one of the greats.
That was bad. That was horrible. That was not even realistic. If you're going to put on a show, you want people watching to feel like it's realistic, get it right because WWE dropped the ball on that one. Period. That sucked. That was the worst match I've ever seen in women's history wrestling. That was worse than the Ric Flair retirement match.
Oh, wow. Wow.
God, it was bad. It was horrible.
Wow.
I hated the match. Hated the match.
Well, that's it, folks. Have a good night.
Triple H, you better get those girls back in the wrestling center, or whatever you call that, performance center. Teach them how to do a chair shot and a swanton bomb.
No, let Mick Foley or
you didn't like Tiffany's swanton?
Okay, sure. No.
I mean, granted, it would look like a mannequin just like tipped over the fucking building, but it's still a swanton. It's not like she's gonna snap her neck at the last second like Hardy does, like a dipshit.
It was horrible. That match was horrible. That's all I need to say.
Okay, so we have horrible, unforgiving, worthless, like a whole bunch of different adjectives for bad. This was 38 minutes and 15 seconds of pure, unadulterated, complete bullshit that meant absolutely jack shit because guess who has the title match? Io Sky. Not the person who got the pin on the champion. Because let's put this out here. Liv Morgan has had the upper hand on Rhea Ripley since WrestleMania 40, the night after WrestleMania 40. Every time. The fact that they gave Becky Lynch the World Heavyweight Championship after a Battle Royal, whatever, I don't care. Not my hill to die on. My hill to die on, though, is Rhea Ripley just can't win the World Championship against Liv Morgan, who is... Rhea Ripley is twice her size, twice her strength, twice her speed. Really? We can't get her to win the World Heavyweight Championship for the women? All it does is that it shows that Rhea is stupid and Liv is not a dominant champion. She always gets cut off at the end. On the... every episode of Raw, she is always, the one that's got... But on the pay-per-view, she wins.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a good chicken shit heel. She's not a good dominant heel. She's not a Shawn Michaels heel, so I don't know why the fuck he gave her Raquel Rodriguez. Ugh. Anyways, again, 38 minutes. This was 38 minutes of hell for anyone who doesn't just sit there with a bottle of Jergens. That's pretty much, again, this was steak before having steak. This was no reason to have this match. You could have had this as a fucking 5-on-5 traditional and had Io and Rhea being the sole survivors, making Io look strong, and then going to Saturday night's main event as a strong contender against Liv Morgan.
Yep.
But we don't do that because Triple H, and here's what I'm going to say. Both WarGames matches sucked. I'm going to spoil that right now. Both WarGame matches sucked because of last month. We had one of, in my opinion, top 5 Hell in the Cell matches of all time. And then we put 20 people in a cage with no blood, no rage, no destruction. It was a waste. WarGames was a waste.
We'll get to that last match. I totally disagree with you on the last match. That last match told stories later.
Yeah,
we'll get to that one.
I respectfully disagree.
Yes.
And that's fine.
But on the last match, it is hard though to when you have that WarGame setup, you would think you have all this real estate, right? And you've got all this stuff that you can do, and you've got all these bodies in there. But it's like it should, realistically, like you would think it should come together and make like something unbelievable. But then as you watch it happen, it's like okay, this is harder. It doesn't always work out. Like you might have a picture in your mind, and so like again, the ladies match. We'll get to the guys match later, but your spots or your cool things are what stand out. In the ladies match, there was just those things I remember. That's all you remember. It's almost like AEW. You know, it's like, oh, I just remember this. Oh, they did that high spot, or they did this bump, or they did that bump, or whatever. But yeah,
here's my problem with that comparison. Because yes, some people do remember the high spots. When I watch AEW and when I watched this, same thing happened. I don't remember anything about these WarGames matches. I didn't even bother taking notes, mainly because my family was entirely sick. And I was up till 2, 3 in the morning, and I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to sit down and watch this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it like, in my opinion, nothing about these matches were memorable unless you had a bingo card. If you had like a play-along bingo card, you filled out your sheet at least 3 different times.
Yeah, the men's match was it's like I liked it, but I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of weird. It was I could follow the story and stuff, like, okay, cool, but at the same time, I was kind of going, oh,
Really?
there you go.
Nikki D and I must watch a different match, guys.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Are you comparing it to the one prior when they all
Like,
got
as
together
in-
and they did this? Like, remember WarGames when they got together and
Oh, in 22?
yeah, when like who was it? Jay, that did not trust Sammy and didn't want Sammy to be part of their team and all that stuff. That was when that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Survivor Series of 22. No, I'm not comparing it to that. I'm comparing it to Hell in a Cell.
Okay, because that one is like that was better. That was better. But I didn't hate this one.
No, and I'll make a comment to that Hell in a Cell comment because when we get to that last match, I disagree with that. I thought the Hell in a Cell match was botched, confused, and put together. No,
Really?
there was nothing. It felt to me on the Hell in a Cell match. It felt to me nothing was planned out. It was just like, this is what we want to happen, and just do what you got to do.
Those are the best matches. Why have a choreographed match when you can just go to town on...
What I'm saying is nothing made sense. In this match with the and the WarGames, it made sense because it told stories upon stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it led
Okay,
into
I see
Raw,
what you're saying.
And it led into Raw, where it continued to tell stories, right?
Right.
That's what I got it compared to the Hell in a Cell. Not that I
Right.
disagree, but that's what I got as my opinion. Hell in a Cell was like, it didn't tell me nothing.
See, to me, Hell in a Cell was Drew and Punk wanting to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was the match. That's all you needed to know. That's all you needed to know, period, is that they wanted to kill each other. And then we had one of, and again, in my opinion, top 5 Hell in a Cell matches of all time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Match two of last night or Saturday night was Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. And I'm telling you, I'm loving the result.
Okay, I was going to ask, out of the 4 of us, who was actually shocked that Nakamura walked away with the title?
No.
I was shocked, but I'm happy as hell because that was.
I didn't expect that. I think I said that on our chat too. I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
talked
didn't
about it
expect
before how LA Knight, you know, I mean, he's still got that popularity, but he's kind of, you know, and
Yeah, which is why I thought they would leave this belt on him. So I didn't see that coming. I was surprised.
I just loved his look, his evil, sadistic. It's far better than it was before,
It looks like a Sith Lord.
and it was amazing.
Pretty
I
much.
loved it.
Yeah.
I just thought like it would make no point for him just coming back, being bad as hell, and then just loses his first match. Like it would make
Right.
no sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Right. That's what
I see that too.
Why are you going to bring him back as such a star and get him over on the SmackDowns and Raws or whatever it was, and then have him come in and lose? You had to have him win.
So my question is, did you guys notice what LA Knight's entrance looked like?
His entrance?
His entrance.
Holy crap.
I watched his entrance.
He wasn't talking shit. He wasn't doing his normal shtick. He was out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still shocked that Nakamura won, but that was a telling sign looking back that he was going to lose.
You think there was something wrong?
No, because
I don't know.
He was telegraphing it.
I think so. He might have been telegraphing it.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually cool that you noticed that. I thought when he just came out, it was because he was waiting until he got to the ring to do that. Because if our memory serves me correct, she didn't announce them until they were in the ring, right?
Yeah, well, they do that with all the champions now.
Yeah, so
talking about entrances, I noticed one of the things I hated about the WarGames match men's, the entrance to both of them sucked. I didn't
like the entrance for like the teams into the cages, or like the entrance for the cage to come down.
The entrance to the teams in the cages. That was not hyped for. I thought it'd be hyped somehow, but it was like the cages were 5 feet away from the gorilla room. You know, the curtain.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell? I mean, it just looked very small. And I guess that's one of the biggest things I could take away from as a negative part of Survivor Series. It seemed the entrance, every single person, like, you know, LA Knight, nothing. You know, even the Nakamura entrance song was okay, but it wasn't
different though.
It was different.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah,
I was hoping it would be his older one, and it was, but it was a different.
But I just want to, Cody, what you said. Corey Graves actually mentioned it a couple times in the match where he stated, "Man, it's like LA Knight's just off his game, like Shinsuke's in his head."
Yeah, he did say that.
Michael Cole said, "This is a must-win match for Nakamura." Like Rico said, you bring him back, you have to have him win. It's a must-win.
Yeah.
So
that's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer to have him win. This was the actual shortest match of the night at under 10 minutes at 9:45.
Yeah. So then we moved on to Braun Breaker defeating Ludwig and Sheamus.
Match of the night. This was the one that woke me the fuck up, and I was excited to watch 3 guys beat the ever-living tar out of each other.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Oh man.
I liked it. Man, it just, I don't know. There's so many things I liked about the match. Like you said, everybody was just beating the crap out of each other, and Ludwig you got to see him put on a performance. You're like, nice.
Absolutely. I read a statement. Maybe you guys disagree with this or not. Braun Breaker might be the Darby Allin of WWE, where the promotion will need to step in and protect him from himself with all these death-defying spots. He's doing some crazy shit.
He is insane.
Yes, he is.
He is insane. And I was sitting there watching it, and I was telling, because my wife, and I can't remember, it was like one of my daughters was out there watching. I was like, dude, nobody that big should be able to, like, that part where he was like, he got knocked off the top and he ran up and just like that fast, like a cat, you know, had his feet on the top rope and then did a Frankensteiner off the top. Dude, you should not be able to do that.
It's now renamed the Breakensteiner. Just FYI.
Oh, the Breakensteiner. My bad.
Coined by Pat McAfee.
Yeah, just that and the way he jumps, like when he clotheslined him, he hit both guys, I think, Ludwig and Sheamus. He flew over the announce table.
Yep.
Like, dude, he's insane.
Yes.
Like, he's just insane, dude. I'm like, this guy is.
It reminded me of watching Montez Ford jump over the turnbuckle to the outside.
Yeah.
Insane.
He shouldn't move like that because he's like, what'd you say, Cody? He's like 260 or something?
Yeah, he's like 260 between 260 280, and he's like 6'2", 6'3". Motherfuckers, he's a big guy.
Like that. Yeah.
He has at least a 6-foot vertical leap because the motherfucker missileizes himself in front of the announce table. Not even like when they're sitting on the announce table. Sheamus is down. Ludwig's about to run to Sheamus, and Braun Breaker's like, nah, bitch, and fucking shoulder tackles him in the face.
Yeah.
From 10 feet away. And I'm like, what the fuck is this match?
I know. It was insane. It was insane. Oh my gosh. And Sheamus, I know we're supposed to go in turn here, but whatever that was, I kept wanting to call it like a shoehorn because it looked like a shoehorn. But that cane looking thing that Kaiser got, he beat the living crap out of Sheamus with it. I mean, I was like, dude, he's taking that like a man. Just freaking welts on his back and on his arm and everything, and then it broke when he was hitting him. I was like,
I encourage you to look up photos of the aftermath on that from Sheamus, like when he's in the locker room.
Oh,
motherfucker beat. Motherfucker's beat.
I had to do that because I just was like, oh my gosh. And it just everything, the chops, man. Yeah, there were so many things to love about that match. So many cool spots, so many cool, it was sweet.
So, two things. This match went 15 minutes. It could have gone 10 minutes longer and nobody would have given a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And two, I have a bone to pick with whoever the fuck said that quote, because I know it wasn't Scott who made that quote, but I need to know who made that quote so I can rip them a new asshole.
Cool. Oh, why though? But I kind of agree with that, Cody. I kind of really do. Darby Allin. If you watch AEW, you don't because you're not a fan. That's okay.
No. I've watched Darby Allin. I've watched all the shit that he's done.
That's an insane man. What I think they're saying is exactly what Nikki D said. This guy is doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing. One of these times, running 9,000 miles an hour around the ring, and he misses. He's going to hit that step. He's going to hurt himself.
Okay, I'm fine with that though. You want to know why? Because that's one time out of 1,000 that he's done it. In this past year, Darby Allin has T-boned a car and fucked himself and couldn't get that spot right for whatever the pay-per-view was last week. Great, and you made yourself bloody, even better. Also, All In or Double or Nothing, whatever the Anarchy Stampede match was or whatever the fuck it was, he was hanging upside down, bleeding into the ring.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, calculated risk. Darby Allin, indie spot monkey. Two different things.
No,
yeah.
I disagree.
And when I say that about Braun Breaker, I'm talking about his size. Like a guy that big should not be able to do what he does. That's what I was implying. Not that he shouldn't do it, because if he didn't do that, he would kind of be like another big guy on the roster. But the fact that he does that, he elevates himself. He stands out. So when I was making that comment about who he shouldn't be able to do that, I look at him and go, human being that big should not be able to do what he does. He's a freak. He's just a freak.
My question. Never mind. I don't want to get into
No, Scott. It's your show. I want you to get your opinion out.
I do not understand. You, my brother, have never liked AEW, liked Tony Khan, liked all these boys. But that's where your bitch ass Cody Rhodes came from. But
Cody Rhodes was WWE.
I got something to play.
He went to AEW, and then he came back home.
I got something to play about this Cody Rhodes guy, and I'll play it before we go into Raw. My question is, what is so wrong? That is Darby Allin's character. That is what they built him to be. That is what they built him to do. AEW, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're more hardcore indie bitches, or what you ever call them. They're more hardcore indie stuff. than WWE is. But what's wrong with that?
Okay.
I would rather pay $20 and go watch XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling here in Panama City than I would pay $80 to sit at a WWE arena watching scripted stuff. What's wrong with Darby Allin doing what he's doing? I don't understand that.
Okay, so again, my opinion. I'm not saying this is. I'm not saying that this is fact. I'm just saying this is my opinion. XIW, even though they are an indie promotion, probably looks better in ring quality than AEW. XIW, I could probably compare to in-ring quality to WWE. CCW, I compare to WWE. Nickel City Wrestling right here in Buffalo, I compare to WWE. PWG is AEW. PWG is pretty much the forefront of bullshit wrestling where Chuck Taylor has an invisible grenade and pretends to blow off his knee by giving someone an atomic drop.
So
you could have a match at a circus better than AEW.
I feel like AEW is not, again, this is in the eye of the beholder. I feel like AEW is not TV ready wrestling.
I honestly, Cody,
Well,
I don't want to sit here and argue about that. That's your opinion. I respect your opinion.
Right.
I do. I personally don't see that like that. I don't see AEW on WWE's level. No, I don't see that at all.
I've never seen it.
But I see AEW just as good as Impact. I really do.
Reek.
They're not any worse than Impact. No. I'll just say this then I'll drop the subject because I will say this. I'm a fan of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I like I'll sit and watch AEW, WWE, Impact, and I am not the one that'll sit here and go, that's trash. I have different opinions. They're on different levels, sure.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is nowhere near WWE. Hell no.
No.
AEW, in my opinion, and Impact are like the farm teams to MLB.
Yeah.
That's what they both are, in my opinion.
Right.
I have like 25 recordings of AEW. I've tried watching a couple and I just can't. I get annoyed with it.
They're not WWE product, no. But I think that's what we all have a problem with.
But the thing is that there's a difference between, again, this is an all opinion based, and we all respect each other's opinions. I'm just saying there's a difference between 10 guys in a conga line with everybody's thumb up their ass, with the leader being the legend Jushin Thunder Liger, in a California-based indie wrestling promotion, with guys like Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa, just to name a few, in said conga line with thumbs up each other's asses. And then there's actually trying to do storytelling wrestling. I love MJF. I love what he does. I love what they are trying to do wrestling-wise with AEW. I think AEW is the best thing for WWE. I don't see them as competition, but I see them as WWE trying to do new things to get indie talent, because that's where AEW was pulling for the pool. WWE was going to colleges, was going to like sporting events and going like just trying to get athletes. Now they're going the AEW route, but looking for people who are TV wrestling ready and will not do invisible grenades down the pants, a thumb at the ass conga line, or my favorite, a guy doing like a fat guy holding a skinnier guy who looks like a snake does this, hypnotizes his opponents, and then fucking choke slams them.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I think as fans, we ought to be respectful of what other people like to watch. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. They bash a product. And that's why I cannot stand TikTok and the ICW, whatever, the IPC, whatever the fuck they want to call it.
The IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community.
Whatever they call it. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not me. Post it on TikTok. Who gives a shit?
Well, you get that. You get that, though.
Podcast, hates the IWC, don't want anything to do with the IWC, and all you people involved. All you fake-ass reaction people. No.
See, it's that's
well, then I'm out. Bye.
The beauty of it is we agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody's going to disagree on stuff.
Yep. Let's get on to Gunther and Damian Priest. Go to first.
Was this match like? Yeah, we were done with the triple threat. We figured that was fine with how we ended it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a lot more we could say about that match. That match was somehow we ended up.
I think we got it out of all of our system. It was the best way to sum up that triple threat. Everyone looked better at the end. That's what a professional wrestling match should be. Everyone is better off in the end of that match and looks stronger.
Well, I just have. Can I ask a question about that match?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Reek, I'll start with you. What was your favorite part?
I necessarily don't have a favorite part. I mean,
That's fine.
I honestly, I really enjoyed the whole match. I was like, it was the one match out of the whole pay-per-view where I was like, man, I really like this match.
The whole match. That's fair. Cody, what stuck out to you?
The ending. The ending really stuck out to me because it's like you could story tell it. You can predict that shit miles long. But the way he hits that spear like a bolt of lightning and it's just fucking so goddamn impactful and powerful and God, he is like my favorite at the moment right now, and I fucking love him.
He's awesome.
I love the spear.
Huge pop.
I love the spear. I was kind of disappointed in the match at who won it. I think Sheamus deserves the flowers. I think I would have loved to see him win it. I really do. But Ludwig, he showed that I couldn't stand it. I didn't like the guy. I wasn't a fan of him until that match. He's told a story. He was amazing. But when Sheamus got hit with that shillelagh, that was brutal as hell. That was fun to watch. And then the spear at the end.
Like Nikki said, man, he took those hits too.
My God, he took it. So I was thinking when I was talking to Ahmed Johnson, he said they was a lot back in the 80s, a lot of shoot fights, a lot of shoots, everything. He went up against Bam Bam, or one of the big dudes and they went out and straight up shot. Hit after hit after hit after hit. Now, I notice a lot of Sheamus's matches. There are a lot of brutal beatings and stuff like that. They need these marks. I wonder, is Sheamus more of a shoot guy? Is that what he's used to? Is that why those matches look so damn good?
No, some people will work if you have that relationship. Think of the Dudley Boys. Okay, the Dudley Boys work. They're stiff. Now they won't stiff teams that don't want to work stiff, but then if they work with somebody that's like, yeah, you can stiff us, that's fine. We'll give you the receipt and we'll make it look good. Then you have something like a Sheamus where they can take it and dish it out.
Right.
And
to me, that appeared to be a lot of. And I know they all work together, and I know they're good at what they do. It made it feel so real. So, my God, they're pissed off at each other. That bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That much power with that spear. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whips that Sheamus took, that was not tap like Nia Jax did in that first match. It was full out I'm beating your ass with this shillelagh, and too bad.
It was
When
good.
he does that lariat or whatever when he
Yeah.
grabs him and beats on the chest. I love that entire match, but the part that stuck out to me that made me pop was when Kaiser kind of had the upper hand. You forgot about Sheamus. Like, Sheamus got knocked down outside the barricade, and Kaiser was over there, and Breaker was down, and he was like, yeah, and he was feeling all proud of himself, and then standing up behind him slowly.
I think that was probably my favorite part right there.
Oh my gosh, I popped so hard for that. I was like, this is great. You know what's coming. And he just was like, Kaiser was just completely oblivious, like, yeah. And he just grabbed him and beat the crap out of him. Like, I just, that the flow was so good. It was that's the part that was probably my favorite part of that. And I love the whole match, but that was my favorite part because I just popped for it. I was like, this is great.
That was good. So we're gonna go through the next two matches. I really want to talk about Raw. That was some good stuff. Damian Priest, Gunther. Go, Cody.
It was a match. I don't know how else to put it. Finn got involved for whatever fucking reason because he wanted to piss off Damian. Whatever. Gunther's pissed off at Finn. Spoiler. Just it's whatever. I didn't think he was gonna win the world title because he had fucking Gunther's number for 3 weeks in a row. And you knew that he wasn't going to win the title. So it was a 20-minute match, roughly 20-minute match. That was, I'd say it was worse than the WarGames matches, but I still think that they were bad WarGames matches. I think this show sucked.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Codeman there. So
Really,
it wasn't terrible. I'll say it wasn't terrible, but it's just like I'm just like, oh, Gunther. Oh, I mean, Priest. He got to show, he can handle himself and he does pretty sweet. I like Priest. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, oh, okay. The ending was the best spot. Because it ended.
There you go. That's fucking great.
wow. Let's go ahead, man. Nikki, man. Wow.
Yeah, I would say this. I don't agree. This match to me started out. It kind of started out slower. It was whatever, and then it got better. The longer this match got, the better it got. The more it started showing like Priest was, it was kind of telling a story. He has all that heart. He's not going to give up. And then it just kept building and building and building. And then there was a couple of hope spots where you're like, hey, he's going to get it. And nope. And then I loved how when his arm was hurt, or when his shoulder was messed up and like the camera just you could see Gunther over there just looking because that's what he does. And he's I'm a freaking zero in on that. And I thought it was great the longer that it went. I enjoyed the match. I really enjoyed it. And they did, again, because I have that background. I did this for a while. All the spots that they were doing, I was like, man, I know those. I remember those spots. And, but that's a whole other thing. Like just the technical wrestling and the stuff that they were doing. And then they were throwing all the other hard hitting crap in there too. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm surprised you guys didn't, but
I had no issue with the technical wrestling aspect. It was the wrestling 101 that I'm predisposed to. Like if someone's got the upper hand for 3 weeks, they're.
I mean, I will agree with Cody. They even on IWC and all the people on the internet that are professional wrestling people. That they think they are, mentioned that the night after SmackDown, right? They mentioned that because Damian Priest had the upper hand for 3 weeks in a row, we already know who's going to win the match.
Yeah.
So we did. Yeah. We kind of did know. But Nikki, I agree with you, man. The only bad part of that match was why in the hell are we going to insert Finn Balor? Who cares? Out of nowhere, he comes out and coup de grace Damian Priest in the World.
Oh yeah, yep. I forgot to say that. That ruined what was. I really enjoyed that match, and that served no purpose. It was like, why?
Right. Yeah.
Why?
That was no purpose. Yeah. So.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
What was the purpose? Oh, to give Gunther a win. There's your purpose.
Yeah.
No, they said, hey Finn, go out there and do something to make this match exciting somewhat.
Oh no! Because no, you can go back and watch it, and the crowd was into it. That match got better as it went. I will disagree with you. I will disagree with you. That match did not suck.
I agree. I agree with Nikki that the crowd was very into it. I just wasn't.
Quit drinking Cody Cornette's haterade. Rico, stop it.
No, we're just on the same page with that one right there.
Yeah, it just happened that we fell on the same goddamn book.
So the last match of the night was the OG Bloodline against the Timu Bloodline. I love that. Love that statement. The Timu Bloodline. That's awesome to me, in my opinion. And I thought that match was. I wasn't happy with how they entered the ring, how they entered the cage. I did like the kind of the bantering back and forth that each of them had going on with displeasing. Obviously, CM Punk and Roman Reigns hated each other, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that match told stories. It launched us into 2025. I mean, I think there was nothing wrong with that match. Everybody had their places. Big monster people jumping off the top of the cage. That was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Who are now injured.
Well, that's the type of wrestling I love. I love Darby Allin wrestling. I love jumping on top of cages. I love that. Yeah. I won't say nothing more. I thought that match was great. Solo
I did like when Bronson Reed went through a table.
Yeah. Fatu. What a freaking athlete. Holy
crap. Yeah.
That guy is insanely good.
He's a freak.
I can't wait for the match between him and Braun Breaker.
Right?
That guy is a freak, man.
That guy, that would be a hell of a match. I mean,
I will say this: Jacob Fatu, MVP of that match.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Where I forgot to say in the women's match, Candice LeRae was the MVP of that match.
She really I was like, wow, Candice is actually doing her thing in there.
I agree with that.
I'm even talking about storylines and layers to it. Even when CM Punk, when they're raising the ones, he comes up and he does the go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's a sign of disrespect, but okay, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
The hug to Paul Heyman as he's leaving. They're all talking about that. What did he say? Whatever. I just thought that just escalated. That just added to the Bloodline story. That story's gonna go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my main problem with the men's WarGames match. The whole point, pretty much, is between Solo and Roman to say who is the tribal chief, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Roman beat Solo. Solo is still the tribal chief.
But that wasn't what that was about, though.
That is what this story is about. The whole point of this fucking WarGames was because the new bloodline, which is led by Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
And you're missing everything, all the layers that there are on both sides. It's not about the Alafala. It's not all about that. It's about CM Punk, why he got inserted. Why did Bronson Reed get inserted? What all this shit that took place. The uncertainty of who do I trust? It wasn't all about Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa.
That was pretty much my whole thing going into this match, and I'm like, what was the point?
No, I watched it knowing there was more to that. I went in there going, oh my god. You know what? I'll be honest. I didn't even care about Roman Reigns Solo. I was more wondering, is CM Punk going to turn on Roman? Is Jay going to turn on, or is Paul going to get inserted? And all this stuff that we're all missing.
Yeah.
Because we're focusing on Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa on with the Olafala or Olafala.
Yeah.
I think there's more to it than that. And I think they did a damn good job doing that. And so what? So Solo didn't. So there was no whatever. So
right, and I'm just that's why I was like, why do we have this match if nothing changed?
Well, I seen it differently, Cody, because I didn't care about at that point at the end of the night. That didn't even bother me. That okay, we still have Roman Reigns pissed off at Solo. There's no true tribal. Who knows who the tribal chief is? And I think that's okay moving into the next pay-per-view.
Well, I think you could still have those stories, but this is where I agree with Cody. I don't know why Roman didn't grab that and put it on, because that's what this was all about. You had the OG bloodline against the new bloodline. They won this war. And yes, you can still have all those storylines, but I was sitting there like, why doesn't he put the thing on?
Because
just grab it and put it on. You are the tribal chief, and that whole thing should be over. Like, just why? So I was sitting there waiting for. I personally waited for that, and I even vocalized that with who I was watching it with. I'm like, why is he putting it on? I don't understand. Where is it at? Like that. It should go around his neck now. And it still doesn't kill the storylines. It doesn't take away from any of that other stuff. But to me, that's that. I waited for that, and it didn't happen. I was kind of upset.
So
why can't you wait till Friday night SmackDown?
Because
it was.
I wanted to see it happen at a premium live event.
Because
that was a big thing. That was WarGames. That was WarGames.
Okay, hold on.
But because that proved. Because Roman Reigns had more than just the Olafala he had to prove. He had to prove, hey, I can be trusted.
Yeah.
I can build this team of no one felt that there was any OG bloodline. They felt there was all this disgruntled stuff. And it showed family coming together. And to me, when it showed family coming together, that's more important, that family bond now that they have. I think they wanted to prove that and show that. And now the Olafala could be got on Friday night or on Saturday night's main event.
Okay, now see that I don't mind if they do something like that for Saturday night's main event.
Yeah,
that
I
would
think
help.
They were focusing on the family aspect and trusting Roman and building that and building those layers. That Olafala or whatever they want to call it, the head of the table, that's going to come, but we had to be patient for that.
So in your okay, I'm gonna paraphrase here. The way you're saying this wasn't a war that was won. This was a battle of the war.
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't over by any means. Is this over?
No, I didn't think it would end it, but I thought that should have changed hands. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that because it would have been just huge in that moment when they were together. Because watching it, and you're right, Huge Pop, there were times where you were thinking, is someone going to turn? Or is Roman's inability, like Roman and Punk, their inability to be on the same page going to cost them? Or is something going to happen? Or is Heyman going to do something? Or who knows? There was all these ifs, what if. And then they were all together at the end. And I thought that's perfect. That's perfect. Get that thing and put it on. I was waiting for it because it would have been like,
I think what you're going to see is Solo's going to come out. Ha, ha, ha. I still got the Olafala.
Right.
And Fatu is going to say, kiss my ass, bitch. I saved that Olafala 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row. He's going to punk that Solo Sikoa. And then he's going to say, and he's going to give it. I wish this would happen. He probably won't. Fatu is going to go up to Roman Reigns and say, here.
Yeah.
Wow.
You went through hell for 2 months. I beat your ass for 2 months. You showed me you're not arrogant. Here you go.
You want to know what my favorite part about that match was? And you're gonna hate me for this, Scott. I swear you will. Tungaloa climbing on the cage like Super Mario World.
That was cool.
Like, that was my favorite part of the whole damn thing. Like, okay, that's funny. That's funny. And then the memes that came out afterwards. Holy shit!
I didn't see any
He
of
was
those.
just acting so like, why, dude? He kept doing that stuff. I don't know.
I like him, man. I really do.
Oh, so this match went 42 minutes long.
42 minutes. Okay.
So,
Okay. There were some times where it was kind of where there were certain people in there, and there was times where it was kind of dragging. And as you were waiting for one of the cells to open and somebody else to come out and add to it, and I don't want to diss anybody, but I will say when certain individuals came out, like Jacob Fatu, you were like, oh shoot, and the pace, it changed really quick, and it just was rolling after that. And like Jimmy and Jay together, that was sweet, and then it just kept going from there. But I liked the match a lot. I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, you can nitpick little things here and there. Like we were talking about, how it ended and all that stuff. I thought one spot that stands out to me is where CM Punk saved Roman, where he pulled him off the table. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I. I was like,
and that was cool. I thought that was really cool because I was like, now they're together, because you saw that he could put his differences aside. And part of that was Heyman screaming at them, standing outside. He was like, you make each other better, or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like that. You compliment each other. You make each other better. You bring out the best out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just were like, okay. And then, when he pulled Roman off that table, I was like, oh, look at that. And it just, the storytelling.
And that'll segue into Raw with that statement. Because we opened up Raw with CM Punk in the ring. And out comes Seth Rollins. And that told stories upon stories upon stories, because Seth Rollins asked that same question. When did you start liking Roman Reigns? Or something like that. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And he called out, that was a great, I don't know word for word, that was a great promo in my opinion. I loved it because he pointed to the sign, the invisible sign out there. Is he indicating that
Royal Rumble,
that he's going to win the Rumble and he's going to go to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns or face Seth Rollins or face Gunther or whoever?
Mm-hmm.
That was a great segment. That opening segment of Raw was full of...
That was like a 15-minute segment between 4 or 5 guys. And we had 2 different talking segments with 3 different people, which I loved. It started with Seth Punk. It ended with Sami Zayn.
Yes.
And set up a main event match for later in the night, which I thought was fantastic. And again, later down the road, there was a new reveal. But Punk's line to Seth, after Seth is like, for the last 6 months, I've been thinking about you. Punk's like, for the last 6 months, you've been thinking about me? For the last 6 months, I haven't thought of you at all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was like...
Okay.
They got in each other's face. You see CM Punk strut right towards Seth Rollins, and he's like, and he said that. It was amazing.
And I like the other thing that Punk said. The only reason I had a problem with you is because you had something I want. I wanted. You don't have it now.
You don't have it now. That was amazing stuff. He's like, get out of my way. Leave.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I like the promo was good. I really like that one.
And then the scuffle happened, and you had Jay and Sammy come and break it up. Sammy then started talking to Seth Rollins, and he's like, bitch, I wanted you on the team. I didn't want Punk. I took Punk because he was offering the help. Motherfucker, I wanted you on the team.
Yep.
Asked you twice.
Which is true.
Then he made reference to the chair shot he gave Roman Reigns 2 years ago. Or whatever, how long... Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sammy referenced the chair shot that Seth gave the Roman 10 years ago.
Yep, 10 years.
Yeah, and then Seth referenced the chair shot that Sammy made 2 years ago.
I did not realize Seth. I didn't realize that it's been 10 years from that.
Yeah.
That's
Decade of the
crazy.
Shield.
That's crazy.
I love what Seth told Sammy. He goes, "You got a good heart. You need to start using your head, dude."
Yeah, that was at the end of the match.
At the end of the match. End of the match. That was
Yeah.
stuff that was said. Stuff that was just building like those layers that you're like, "Oh my god!" As a fan, you're
Yeah, let's talk about the main event match now, so that we can get to the
Sure.
we can skip most of Raw,
yeah.
except for the one segment that I know the three of us want to talk about and watch Nikki's reaction because it's going to be great. But the main event match was Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins. They had not fought each other for over a year. The last time they fought was for the World Heavyweight Championship when Seth had it. And it was a great 10-minute match, 10, 15-minute match, depending on what commercials were. And Seth won with a roll-up because Sammy got his emotions the better of him and wanted to just beat the shit out of Seth because earlier in the night, Jey Uso got attacked. We still don't know who. We could take a good fucking guess. But other than that, after that happened, Sammy throws the chair, and then Seth does the quick roll-up in the cinch and gets the victory and says what Scott said, you have a good heart, you need to start using your head.
Mm-hmm.
Left the ring.
Yeah, and then Seth left the ring, and as he's walking back, Sammy turns around and a hooded figure comes and claymores him. And come to find out, who does the claymore? Oh, the mysterious, magnificent Drew McIntyre just shows up and takes the hood off and just looks menacingly. And I'm just like, oh, good Lord, we couldn't save him for the Rumble. Okay, whatever. I can live. Again, if this was me, Punk and McIntyre would never have came back until the Rumble. I would have held them off until February. But they want to do these storylines, whatever. McIntyre has issues with the entire bloodline, not just Solo, not just Roman, not just Jay. He has the issue with all 10 guys and everybody that has been involved with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's honestly, it's going to be great watching what's going to happen next.
Yeah, because now he's going to have problems with Seth because Seth teamed up with them.
Cody.
Yes.
You honestly think it seems too easy, seems too obvious. Do you obviously think Jay was taken out by Drew McIntyre?
Yes.
You think so?
If he's taken out by anyone else, the storyline makes no fucking sense.
Does it?
Okay, we don't have time for a whodunit right now. This isn't 2000 for Austin ran over with the car. We need to get to the bigger moment of the night.
I don't know. I do not. I would believe it's Drew McIntyre, but I do not know if it is. So we'll get to that.
So you don't know who took Jay out, apparently.
Well, it apparently appears to be. It would make more sense that Drew McIntyre shows up. And Claymore's Jay's best friend. Blah blah blah. Here insert Drew McIntyre, and et cetera, et cetera.
And he claymored. It was Seth that was walking away, you said?
Yep.
And he claymored Seth and stared at Sammy.
He claymored Sammy.
Claymored Sammy. Okay, and then was okay.
Oh, that's where we connect Jey Uso and Sammy, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So the segment that we need to talk about is a segment that I kind of had tears come out my eyes. It was the 10th year anniversary of
New Day.
The New Day. And we've all seen prior weeks that Kofi and Xavier Woods have been not on the same page.
Yeah.
Not on the same page. Boom, here's this big celebration in the middle of the ring, and out walks Big E.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
Somebody called this.
Let's back up about 5 minutes of that segment. The crowd starts chanting Big E, or we miss E, or something of that nature, and Xavier goes, we miss him too. And that right there, that was a telling sign. I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen. Then Kofi's about to say that this decision was not your guys' fault, talking to the fans. This was a decision that me and Woods have come together on. And then Big E's music plays. and he comes out to the ring, cuts this emotional promo. Like honestly, one of the best Big E promos of all time, if not his best of all time. And he's tearing up, he's crying, he's saying, I want, until I am medically cleared, I want to come back as your guys' manager and keep the power of positivity alive. And I'm like, cool, I was right.
Yeah, say called that.
And then Woods goes, now you want to come back? Now, after everything that we've been going through, now you want to come back? Him and Kofi are berating Big E. They are just both on the now the heel end of this turn, and are just attacking Big E and saying Kurt Angle had a broken neck and came back. Stone Cold Steve Austin came back and had a broken neck. And now the meme is that every fucking wrestler that had a broken neck on Twitter is going, yeah, I came back. I'm just.
Didn't one of them say I had a torn Achilles and I came
back?
That
was Woods. He had a torn Achilles tendon and had to take surgery and come back.
He goes and they basically told Big E, he goes, you never had a neck injury.
No, it wasn't that he never had a neck injury. Wow. It was, let's not tease the people and tell them the truth. You're never going to be medically cleared.
Right. You're going to like your office job. Go back to your office. Go back to your desk job.
Yeah.
It was, you're not part of the New Day anymore, basically.
Yeah, Kofi's like the whole mantra. Yeah, the whole mantra was the brotherhood. It was we before we before I. Or we before, it was always the group first. And they're like, you left us for your girlfriend. You left us for your job. You left us for your other projects. You left us. You didn't choose we, you chose yourself.
Yes. It was like, I'm watching that. Go ahead and watch it. Oh my God.
They have the full 14-minute segment up on YouTube on WWE's YouTube channel. Go watch it. It was fantastic. But I do have to point out there was a very subtle thing, and again, I've been catching this because I love how Kofi's reacting to this shit. Mm-hmm. He said this shit, pauses, and then the pause is like, did I just do the right thing?
Well, that's what I wrote in my notes. This is what I wrote in my notes, guys. I asked because I think it's where you're going, Cody. I asked myself, is Kofi fucking with Xavier? Is Kofi really on Big E's side, but we're not going to show this yet? And then when Big E comes out down the road, maybe at some Saturday night's main event or something, and is Kofi going to turn against Xavier Woods and Kofi and Big E go on and win championships? I don't know. I have a feeling we're not seeing the end of this. I don't think one of those, Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston, I don't trust either of them.
So 2 things that were very memorable to hear. Well, memorable for me to watch and understand what was going on. And second to hear, which was Xavier said to Big E, do you know how much of a burden you've been? We haven't been able to evolve as a tag team because we were waiting for this for you to come back. And now you come back when we're ready to jump off the cliff? Mm-hmm. No, you're out. You're done. It's over. 10 years of brotherhood. But, again, and I've been saying this for the last couple weeks, the whole Dragon Ball Z thing. They are huge Dragon Ball Z fans, and they're retelling a storyline in Dragon Ball Z where this Majin called Bibbidi, a wizard, was controlling or was using mind control on one of the main anti-heroes, Vegeta. He returned back evil under the mind control of Bibbidi. The theory is that it's either Karrion Kross or Xavier Woods. It's hard to tell. It's one of those you really got to pay attention things. And Kofi was still wearing that Majin necklace. So it's really a good guy turning bad guy situation. It's odd because the storyline is Vegeta is a bad guy that turned good, that turned bad again, so that he could have the power to fight the ultimate good guy in Goku. I don't know how they're going to play that out. But in this point in time, right now, it is Kofi is being controlled by the Majin power. And Xavier Woods and Kofi are now going to be on the same page as we can evolve this tag team. We can do it our way. It's now us against everyone.
Wow.
So basically, that was Raw. I know we got an hour and 6 minutes, 9:13. But I want to play this, guys, for you.
Oh, God.
For you Cody Rhodes lovers. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Triple H is protecting the American nobody, Cody Rhodes, at this point, and we have to call a spade because this is absolutely ridiculous, and it's undeniable at this point, so let's talk about it. Kevin Owens is going to be facing Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship on Saturday Night Main Event, even though, why is it still called the Undisputed Championship when there's literally another world champion? That's a whole nother point. But they're going to be facing off at Saturday Night Main Event at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, December 14th. Now, I'm going to be there, so I need to flex that as well real quick. But we know this match is happening, but it's happening in America. They just had a PLE. This guy said he was going to defend his title every single show, whatever. They had a PLE in Canada. Do you want to know why Triple H did not want him to go to Canada to defend the title? The man didn't want Kevin Owens to have home field advantage against his guy, right? You can't let the challenger be in his home country, right? Especially when he has his 6'8" behemoth of a son right here, and Kevin Owens knows that Cody Rhodes is not safe if this behemoth is there and that behemoth is there, okay? So they're protecting Cody Rhodes from this man. They don't want him to get home field advantage. They don't want him to have his rules. They got to make sure that it's on Long Island. It's got to be in America. They got to protect their guy, right? It's ridiculous, Triple H. Let the man get what he deserves. This match should have been in Canada. Cody Rhodes is a liar.
That's my point.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Time out. Flag on the play. Pass interference. 15 yards back.
There were some good points there.
Cody Rhodes wasn't on the show because of the fucking bloodline.
Exactly. Thank you.
And you know that too, Huge Pop. You've brought that up.
Who gives a fuck if Kevin Owens had home field advantage? Who the fuck cares? Because Cody Rhodes, no matter where he's going, no matter who he's facing, he's over. He has the whoa. He has that. He's not going to be able to give that up, unfortunately. Me and your brother have this fucking argument on a daily because it's just He didn't show up to Survivor Series because of the bloodline. Period. End of story. Do I wish that Cody Rhodes would have came and fought for the WWE Championship? Yes, because he wants that John Cena schedule. But the problem is that you have something that is bigger and better than the fucking WWE Championship. And the WWE Championship doesn't have a story because it's been the B story to the Bloodline and Drew McIntyre and CM Punk for the fucking year.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Nope.
Yep, that's true.
Not wrong at all. But I will say he's right. Triple H is protecting him for some reason, and if Cody Rhodes is going to make that statement, I'm going to defend my title at every PLE, and you don't do it, you look like an asshole.
Just like Cody just said, he didn't want him to be outshined by the bloodline.
Yeah, and maybe Cody Rhodes.
Then why finish the story? Because you finish the story and he's being underutilized. I'll say it again. I say it for every damn week. The guy, I love whatever. If he wants to be champion, fine. Be your champion. I don't give a shit. What I'm saying though is he's not used the right way because you have a beast of the bloodline. You have that story. But you need to use your champion. I don't give it. You better be good on creative. Get in creative. Insert his ass in the bloodline story and give him what he has to do. Make him be the champion.
Yeah, but Cody Rhodes isn't being used wrong, though.
Why not?
He's not. Yeah, he's not being used wrong because what they're doing with Cody is working. If it wasn't, then he wouldn't be over. He wouldn't be able to do it. And maybe Cody Rhodes meant I will defend my title at every PLE that he's booked on. He could have meant that too.
No, he wanted the John Cena schedule. He wanted to defend it every month, every time, as much as he could. But
I'm sure.
to Scott's brother's point, that Cody Rhodes has been on more SmackDowns and Raws than Roman ever has in the last 4 years.
Mhm.
So there is that. He is wrestling a lot more than Roman ever does. But the problem is that, yes, he was the main event in several pay-per-views leading up to now, but it's always been the B story behind what has been going on with the new bloodline, the old bloodline, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and everything else that has just been going on. Unfortunately, Cody Rhodes has been back burner for whatever fucking reason, but the WWE is using him in the right way, as the way that they use Cena. Cody Rhodes is the ambassador for the company at the moment. I think he is going to be the ambassador for years to come. He's the guy going on Jimmy Fallon. He's the guy going on Stephen Colbert. He's the guy doing all these different interviews. He's the guy with fucking Andrew Schultz doing his podcast. He's doing all these different things to promote the company, promote him, promote the title, do everything that he possibly could. It just sucks that creative has him in the B storylines because they have to focus on the bloodline storyline, because the overarching story is the Roman Reigns story. Everything else is B story, period.
Yep.
And you have to go in the business, you have to go with what draws. And it's not that Cody Rhodes doesn't draw.
You said it. You just said it.
Yeah. And it's not that he doesn't draw, but his biggest thing, to your point, was the chase. And who was the guy on top? It was Roman. He's still, I think, probably the biggest draw in the company.
He is.
That's why I don't understand why he didn't come out last at WarGames. I hated that. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Because I was like, dude, that guy should come out last. But anyway.
No, because the guy that comes out last is the guy that starts. Roman ain't going to start.
I don't like it.
First started this one.
Yeah, no, Jey Uso came out last.
Yeah, Jay came out last.
That's right. Yeah, through the crowd. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But my point, I guess maybe I'm being misunderstood. With
Cody. No, I understand you. I understand you with Cody.
With Cody Rhodes. If he's the ambassador, maybe if this is Triple H's problem. My opinion, if you're an ambassador of the company, your focus needs to be putting him in big time storylines. And he's in B-line storylines for some dumb reason. And I don't like it. It's not that I hate Cody Rhodes. It's if he's my ambassador of the company, I'm going to try to get him in. And there's a lot of things you can do with him in the bloodline. More than just him and Roman Reigns. I agree. Now that you inserted CM Punk in the mix, now that you inserted Seth Rollins in the mix, I just think he's not being utilized right. And that's a shit show that's on Triple H.
That's on creative in general. It's not just Triple H.
I feel sorry for Cody Rhodes. When people say shit like they said that this guy did, I feel bad for Cody Rhodes because he's not getting his flowers that a champion should get.
Hey, do you think there's any truth to that? And I'm not saying I agree with the guy. I'm not saying I disagree with everything he said. But if you think about like Adam Cole, okay, Adam Cole was protected. He really was by Triple H. He would never let him go to the main roster because he knew what would happen. So he kept him in NXT and in a sense protected him because he didn't want him to get ruined by creative that was working there. I'm not saying I agree with what that guy said, but I wonder if Huge Pop, do you think he is protecting Cody? So he doesn't look, I don't know.
I think Triple H has a big problem. And it's the bloodline story. It is that story is so good with who all is involved. It appears like he's protecting Cody Rhodes because you have to put him in some kind of storyline. You have to. He's your champion.
But doesn't it also make business sense to have? So you're going to have Cody defend at Survivor Series and then have him defend them at Saturday Night's Main Event?
No,
you're not doing that. I'm glad that he's defending against Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens obviously is going to lose.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, in a business sense, it's a great idea. I mean, fuck, Gunther's kind of fucked because he's going to fight Finn Balor on Saturday Night's Main Event, which I think is stupid.
Yeah,
But we're going to have Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Io Sky, Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, Gunther, and 3 out of those 6 people just fought last week, or just on Saturday.
Yeah.
I hope my childhood memories of Saturday Night's Main Event aren't ruined by this Saturday's Night's Main Event. I love Saturday Night's Main Event, but of course there wasn't social media either.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I love Saturday Night's Main Event. You look forward to it. Huge.
Yeah.
Who just used the Konami code with Alexa?
My wife did.
Okay, just making sure I heard the Konami code. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my wife just did. But hey, Rico's falling asleep. It's late. It's 9:24, 10:24 on our end. Again, I love bantering back and forth with you guys, especially on Cody Rhodes. I just want to make it clear. I think he's great. I really do. I think he's a great wrestler. I really do. Yeah. My stand is still he's not used correctly, but it's not his fault. It's not.
No.
I mean, it's creative's fault, right? So,
they'll get him going better.
Yeah, I hope so. I really want to see him inserted into some kind of great storyline. Yeah. I hope it starts soon.
Like I said, we have 137 days until WrestleMania. 137 days until WrestleMania.
Yeah, 7 days still on vacation. So, but yeah, I just thank you everybody. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day. I know you guys are all tired. You get a little bit of time zone that's an hour later than mine. So, and I know Cody works in the morning. I know Rico works in the morning. You work in the morning too, don't you, Nikki D?
Yep.
So, but thanks again for being a part of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Thanks everybody for watching the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Check us out again next Tuesday as we talk about Monday Night Raw next Tuesday. Hopefully this is good.
And Saturday Night's Main Event.
Saturday Night's Main Event. Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully there's more to talk about.
Do we want to talk about NXT Deadline?
I'm not going to watch that.
Okay. I mean, I am because I love what they do with that pay-per-view, but...
Yep.
I mean, I'll watch it if you guys want to talk about it. You guys can talk about it.
Yeah.
I think NXT. Going further, I think maybe we need to start at 7:30 or 8:30 your time. That way we got an hour and a half to talk. That way we're not sleeping on. That way we're not putting Rico to bed late. So I'm going to maybe I'll talk to my wife to see if it's okay that we start it an hour earlier. If it's okay with you guys, would it work to start an hour earlier? Does it interfere with your schedules?
No, it doesn't hurt me.
Fine. I'll text you guys and I'll let you know, Cody. So I just want to say thanks everybody for watching the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, Cody, Cornette, Nikki D, Enrico, Matt, the MAWT. I guess we're gonna do a awards ceremony or awards podcast.
Oh shit! Yeah, we gotta get ready for that too.
December 21st.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, everybody was told by the MAWT that that's gonna happen. So I guess it's gonna happen. But check us out. Keep an outlook for Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. A bunch of stuff hopefully going to happen in 2025. Again, it's been a blessing. Another night with you guys. I call you friends. I call you family. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast.